it's Josh with the Financial Advisor Car Guy. This week I wanted to talk about the end of an era in automotive history. If you look at the cars that were discontinued after the 2023 model year, you're going to find no more Chevy Camaro. You're going to find no more Dodge Challenger, no more Dodge Charger. We've lost the GTO years ago. A lot of the big muscle car cars have gone away, and really nothing has filled that void aside from very expensive supercars and electric vehicles. So I wanted to just kind of discuss the potential for collectors that are looking for a muscle car. What this tells me is that good condition, low mileage cars, and we've actually seen this with the GTO already, but low mileage, well-conditioned cars can have a market. They can be desirable. People will pay money for them. We see this, not in every car. I mean, and I'm not telling you that your 2008 V6 Camaro is going to be worth a bunch of money long term. Please don't take it that way. V6 Chargers. I'm trying to think out loud. Challengers. None of those V6 cars are worth a lot of money. I made a little bit of money on my V6 Challenger, but I got a screaming deal on it, and it made it somewhat desirable with a lot of upgrades, and it was really nice once I got through with it. And it had fairly low mileage, and it was in pretty good condition. Granted, it had a salvage title, but I think we're talking about, the big engined, limited edition or special edition or high trim, well-spec'd cars. You're going to see that those cars are going to always demand a premium. I really think that a manual is also going to be a very positive selling point. If you look at even Ford with their new GT500, the last real good Shelby was the 6-speed manual GT350. The GT500 is great. It's supercharged and, all that. It's got tons of power. It's very, very fast in a straight line. They've built it to handle a lot better than they did once upon a time. But you're not going to have that manual transmission, and that would deter some people. I think there's a whole nother market for an automatic, and there are people that would prefer an automatic, but I think there's always going to be a special place for a manual transmission when you're looking at these cars of past, right? Mustangs are going to live on. The 2024s are out. They're on the road. But again, there's no new Camaros, no new Challengers, GTOs, what else? I mean, there's other cars too, I'm trying to think. But really, the Mustang is the last remaining muscle car. And I hope they don't wreck it. They have an opportunity because there is a whole demographic of people that want to buy a new, modern, all the bells and whistles muscle car that is a turnkey deal. They don't have to modify it if they don't want to. It might have a warranty. It probably has all the touchscreen, all this, everything, right? I mean, these cars come loaded, and unless you can find a brand new 2023 somewhere still on the lot, I think Dodge still has Challengers and Chargers available. They've all been sort of released, if you will. But if your local dealership has them, I don't think it's a bad time to go out and buy that, Challenger Hellcat or Red Eye or Demon or any of those. If you can find a well-spec'd one, I think it's going to retain and potentially appreciate in time. We're in a unique time right now. I think there is an opportunity for this, and there's going to be people that try to capitalize on it. And I think you're going to start to see higher mileaged ones or salvage titled ones or ones that maybe haven't been kept in as pristine condition going for lots and lots of money, which in turn makes those excellent examples worth even more. So the concern I have long term is what's going to replace these. I think there's a time and a place for an electric vehicle. We own one. We very much enjoy it. It has saved us a ton of money on gas, especially when gas is over $5 a gallon. Right now in my town, gas is about $5.49, $5.59, something like that. 2 weeks ago, I was on vacation. We were in Los Angeles. I paid over $7 a gallon. I think it was $7.69, I think is what I paid. And we had a rental car. We had a little Jeep Renegade, and it got pretty good mileage, and it didn't have a large tank. But I still put over $100 of fuel in that thing in the 4 days we drove it. And we didn't put that many miles on it. That's not true. We drove from LA to San Diego and back. But that was the extent of the driving. We drove a little bit around Los Angeles, but it for the most part wasn't that much driving. And so for us to have spent $100 on fuel is ridiculous. So an electric car eliminates that, and ranges are getting better. I have a client who I was just talking to this morning, bought a new Ioniq 5 Hyundai, and she was telling me she's ecstatic. Her range is about 350 miles on a full tank or a full charge. So she can drive just about anywhere she wants to. She generally wears it down to about 20% and then charges it back up to 80. And there's all these different theories. You guys can Google it. Tons of different theories about how much you should wear down the battery and then how much you should recharge it. There's also rapid charging and different things that you can Google it. I'm not going to get into that. That's off topic. But conceptually, she loves this thing, and it's going to save her a bunch of money driving around town. It really will. Now, she is going to have a car in her garage, one way or the other, whether it's a internal combustion fuel driven vehicle or if it's an electric car. And so I guess the argument there is an electric car worth the cost price difference, right? An electric car is more money. If you have a brand new car A and car B, and one's gas and one's electric, generally the gas powered vehicle will be less expensive. But once you start factoring in fuel cost, maintenance cost, ongoing maintenance cost, really the only thing you have to change on an electric car are the windshield wipers, the brakes, and the tires. It's essentially it. You have to top off your fluid, right? You've got your windshield washer fluid, and that's about it. So for the most part, there's zero maintenance, no maintenance, very low, very easy. And on your internal combustion car, you're going to have regular oil changes. You're going to have transmission flushes. You're going to have brake jobs. You're going to have all the things, and then fuel. So the debate that is in my mind is, does it make sense to have a maybe more expensive car or car payment, but you're saving on all the back end stuff? Or would you just rather pay for fuel and pay for maintenance and pay for repairs as necessary and whatever else? So there's no right or wrong answer. But my point about the muscle car section of this conversation is that electric cars are fast, but one of the things that separates a muscle car from a traditional family van is not just the power, but it's the sound. You can hear a cammed Camaro coming a mile away, and there's nothing like the rumble of a big block, and you're not going to have even the slightest exhaust note on an electric car. So that has somewhat changed the automotive industry forever, and I just wonder where things are headed. If all these manufacturers have stopped producing these internal combustion muscle cars, does Ford win? I mean, anybody who wants to own one, they're going to either have to buy something older and used and hope that, it's in good condition, and hope that, someone treated it right, and that maybe they have all the right options, bells and whistles, anything that you'd want. You're at the mercy of the secondary market, I guess is the simple way to say it. Versus going down to your Ford dealer and ordering the Ford Mustang you want in the color, with the package, with the engine, with the this, that, and the other. And quite frankly, I don't know that there's a right or wrong way to do it, but I just think that in my mind, Ford kind of wins because they're the last man standing. They are trying to remain relevant, and while they may not be, right, they have fought through and kept not only a fuel version of the Mustang. Now granted, they have the Mach-E, which is an electric car, but they've kept it pretty true to what a muscle car should be. And I want to commend them for that. I'm a Ford guy anyway, so it's easy for me to say that. I don't feel defeat. I don't feel like I have to compromise my beliefs to say, good job, Ford. But I do think that it's foolish for the other auto manufacturers to just make the assumption there's no market for a muscle car. I can see Dodge eliminating the Challenger or the Charger. There's a lot of similarities. One's two-door and one's four-door. Those are going to be the biggest differences. That's why someone would choose a Charger over a Challenger. Is I've got kids in a car seat, I need a back door. Perfect. You can still buy it with a Hemi. You can still buy it, whatever. Now, them keeping one or the other may have been a good move. And quite frankly, maybe they discontinue the Challenger, keep the Charger, so that someone can still have a four-door muscle car instead of a two-door muscle car, which Ford will manufacture moving forward. So I don't know. I don't know what the future holds. Maybe we'll see some of these legacy auto manufacturers bring these cars back. The Camaro has gone away before and it has come back. The Challenger has gone away before and come back. These cars, the GTO has gone away and come back. So I'm not suggesting that these cars will come back. They may be different, but unless you want a used supercar or a used muscle car, your options are becoming fewer and fewer because all of these, even the exotic car companies, are going electric in a lot of ways. And so our options are becoming more limited. And I think that's good for you guys that currently own any of these cars. I really do think if you had I'm not super up to date on all the fancy trims and stuff, but I want to say it's like the LTZ or the ZR1, the ZR1 Camaro. If you've got one of those, you're going to do just fine. If you've got a Hellcat or a Red Eye or a Demon, you're going to do just fine. Now, you might even do better if they're manual. I'm not sure what years came with manual option. I'm not sure if they're all automatics. I don't know. But my point is, if you have one of these cars, you might be sitting rather pretty. I think these are going to continue to appreciate now that there's no other options. You can't buy a new one, so you're in pretty good shape. That's all I got for you guys this week. I just wanted to have this conversation because it's something that's been on my mind. I've seen a lot of posts about it on social media, and it has made me really think about the fact that, yeah, I do think some of these V8 cars, and even if we go exotic, these V10 cars that are going away, they're not going to be brought out again. They're going to go up in value. And even though interest rates are high and the car market's weird right now and all the things, I really think that you're going to do just fine with a select group of cars. So like always, like, subscribe, ask comments down in the, or ask questions down in the comments, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. Till next time, may every investment you make be a good one. Till next time.